Welcome to Super Mark Z, where today I'll be talking about what if Trunks had Super Saiyan before Gohan's death. The first thing I'll change is that I'll say he wouldn't have got Super Saiyan that early, but when they went to fight the androids in the carnival fight, that's when I will say, because he saw all those children dying and he had so much anger, that's when he became a Super Saiyan. So in the few thus, Gohan never lost his arm there because two Super Saiyans were able to fend off and escape quickly enough. And then after that, they had a lot of training where each of them got stronger. I'll say they got as strong as Trunks was when he came to defeat King Cold and Frieza, just as strong as he was. I meant during the beginning of the Android saga when he came and he was seeing the people fighting Android 21. I mean 20, not 21. So let's begin this what if. Trunks and Gohan, after a long day of training, see an explosion far in the distance, the one they originally saw, and both of them ran to fight the androids. Each of them takes on one android at a time. Future Gohan takes on 17 and future Trunks takes on 18. And the fight is vicious. Luckily for Gohan, he isn't getting jumped this time, but also unluckily for Trunks, he's the slightly weaker of the two. So now, with a fierce fight, they were able to defeat only one of the androids, that being 18, that was defeated by Trunks, because 18 was slightly weaker than 17, enough to match Trunks, so was defeated. But with 17, seeing the defeat of 18, became more serious and stopped holding back and began a serious fight where he had to fight two Super Saiyans instead of one, and was able to beat both of them combined before killing them. Luckily for them, Trunks used his sword and was able to shield them, but 17 thought they were finished, so he left. So after that, they realized 17 is highly stronger than they are, so they will need a lot more training. So they trained for another 3 years to find a way to defeat Android 17. Bulma still made the time machine because she thought that just in case they weren't able to finish 17, they could still use the time machine. But then, here's where things diverge even more. I want to make two possible outcomes to this what if. One where they defeat 17 and one where they have to go back in time. So let's start with the first one. If they defeat 17, nothing changes a lot. They defeat 17 and the world is peaceful and they won't need to use the time machine, meaning there will be no other threats. When Bobby D and Boo appear, I'm sure Trunks and Gohan will be able to train and become very strong enough to defeat, because at this point they wouldn't joke around or let anyone power up because of all the things they have gone through. But option 2 is where everything changes. If they fail, then Gohan and Trunks use the time machine to go back in time, warn Goku about the heart virus and the androids, and in the wake of it, future Gohan will be more emotional seeing his father, so he might stay there make them stay there maybe 1 day more because of how emotional he is. But when they return very seriously, and then they return 3 years later to help fight the androids. And because of the one time machine but two time travelers, the history doesn't change that much. And on the day the androids are supposed to attack, the Z fighters find android 17 and 18. They have a fight, But because this isn't Android 19 and 20, the Z fighters are beaten. Goku's heart virus starts acting up, and before he can get killed by the androids, because there is no 16, it's just 17 and 18, Dr. Jerome must have been killed before. Trunks saves him, and Yamcha is the one who takes him back so that he can't. So as Goku is healing, we have the Z fighters and the future Z fighters, the two who are left fighting Android 17 and 18. 18 is easily dealt with by the future ones because they have already killed their 18 and have gotten way stronger since then. But 17 in this present timeline is not just as strong as the 17 from their timeline, but 20 times stronger. Yes, you can say 18 is also 20 times stronger, but why I had them defeat 18 that quickly is because they have, at this point I believe they are at least 20 times stronger than they were when they defeated their 18, and that they are at least 20 times weaker than their 17, who is 20 times weaker than this 17, making this 17 40 times stronger than them and way stronger than the Z fighters. So with a grueling fight, they continued on with the fight. After getting defeated, they were able to retreat successfully. And after this, I'll say Goku heals quickly, so the story can go on. And then he also, after Goku heals from the heart virus, he says he's going to train first before as Vegeta and Trunks are in the hyperbolic time chamber. He teaches both Gohan's instant transmission, and most of the Z fighters see, so they as well learn that technique because it was quicker, because Goku is a good teacher of techniques. And then after Vegeta and Trunks leave, Goku goes with present Gohan, and then after training they both come out as Super Saiyans who can not use a lot of energy. So now that's when you ask, what about Cell? But I'm getting to there. So after the 4 Super Saiyans are out, Future Gohan goes with himself and was able to train for a long time, marching up. So as the 5 Super Saiyans go to fight Android 17, they are met with a shock. Shock is that when they find him, he's fighting somebody else in Perfect Cell and gets absorbed, and then we have Semi-Perfect Cell. But because 17 had not left that far from where 18 was defeated, Perfect Cell is formed quickly because now 18 was defeated but not badly injured enough to be considered dead. So now we have Perfect Cell, who is many times stronger than he was in canon. But now with their valiant fight, they lose. But then both the Gohans, after seeing their father brutally beaten, one Gohan more than the other, both the future Gohan and present Gohan turn into a Super Saiyan 2. And then they both fight Perfect Cell. They think they are winning, but because present Gohan was cocky, luckily for them, future Gohan was not, so Goku doesn't have to die, and they defeat Cell. Future Gohan asks his father to train him with this one so he can be able to master it as well as he mastered the first Super Saiyan. And after staying there at least one more week later, the future warriors go back to their timeline and defeat Android 17, and then they defeat Majin Buu because this time they're even stronger than they were in the first outcome. Goku Black wouldn't happen because I believe that in the timeline we just saw, it is shown that it's highly unlikely that Goku Black could happen, but it can happen. So there are also two more outcomes that come out. One, if Goku Black happens, how the future timelines history played out in the show, but with future Gohan will happen, meaning it will be erased. And if Goku Black does not happen, then the future timeline stays safe for the time being. This is Super Max Z heading out. I know some people want an ultimate alien calendar dates, so I can say the days in which ultimate alien episodes happened, but because I'm back in school, I won't have enough time to watch every single episode to put a day on it. But once I go for the break, I'll be able to see all the episodes and put the proper days on it. Just wait for that. But in the meantime, I'll be posting other videos. This is Super Max Z heading out.